Hey everyone, we're super excited to bring you a really fun episode today, something that's a little different. Today's episode is all about a Danish and Norwegian concept for a mood of cozy, content, comfort, well-being, warmth, especially during the winter. And we felt it appropriate to start this episode off with an authentic pronunciation, which will probably sound a little different than my pronunciation or our other guest pronunciation, but here's that authentic pronunciation. Maybe you've heard of this concept before.
Hygge. Hygge.
And with that, we hope you enjoy the rest of the episode. Inspire Intentions listeners, welcome back. It's gray outside. It's cloudy. It's winter. Tomorrow is supposed to be a high of 30 degrees here. And feeling like maybe you all would want a topic to help bring some light into your life during these cold winter months. And we have a new guest that has never been on the podcast here before, and a guest that has been on the podcast and is helping me co-host today. I'll introduce her first. Kinsey, welcome back.
Thank you so much, Alan.
Yeah, we have Dianna here, our guest services manager, who's never done a podcast before, here to talk about a topic that I don't know anything about. Kinsey knows a little bit about, and one that will hopefully brighten your winter up a little bit. Is that fair, Dianna?
Yeah, sounds good. Let's do it.
Sweet. Why don't you start off by telling our listeners, I mean, some of them know you because they're past guests, some of them don't. Tell them a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a longtime listener, first-time guest. I'm obsessed with podcasts. I love Inspired Intentions as well. I come from an area not too far from here. I'm originally from the Blue Ridge Mountains, but I've lived various places since then. 13 years were spent in Europe, and the last 3 of those were in Denmark. So that's what we're going to delve into a little bit today.
Yeah.
The concept of hygge.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Can we talk about how I misspelled that in an email? I wrote it like hug instead of how it's spelled. Could you spell that for everybody?
It's spelled Hygge.
Yep.
That's the Danish spelling, but actually, as I delved a little deeper into it, it's a combination of 2 words. One is Old Norse from the Viking times. It's hugger, Hugr, which means well-being, I believe. And then hygge, Hugga, which is how you spelled it, which is a Norwegian word from the early 1800s.
So I wasn't completely wrong.
No, actually, yeah, you were on the mark.
That's awesome.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Could you tell our listeners what this is and why it's relevant to our conversation today?
Yes. I mean, hygge in the very simplest form is, most people think of coziness. I mean, that's what I think most people who know something about hygge think of. It's actually much more complex than that.
Yeah.
And I would say the reason that it's even a thing is because Danish winters are harsh. They're cold. It's right around freezing for several months in a row. And on Zealand, which is the island where Copenhagen is, you're within an hour of being at the water, at the sea, no matter where you are on the island. And that means it's windy. So it's windy, it's cold, it's dark. I mean, 4 months of the year, you're getting around 7 hours of daylight. And a lot of that's actually gray and dark. So I would often be dropping my kids off in the dark to school and picking them up in the dark.
Wow.
So sad.
My first 2 years there, I really struggled with seasonal depression, and then I started incorporating hygge into my own life, and I feel very passionately about it. And obviously the winters here are not that gray, which I'm really loving. It's my first winter in Asheville area, and we get a lot more sunlight. So
for sure,
I'm loving that. But
yeah, our gray day here today and probably tomorrow is more of a rarity than it is a consistent thing for sure.
Yeah, but a lot of our listeners we were talking earlier come from places like Chicago, the Midwest.
Ohio's a big one.
Which similar, not that different than what it is in Denmark.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, Kinsey, you're talking to people on the phones. Would you say this is accurate that we get a lot of folks this time of year, wintertime, that are coming from up north down to North Carolina, whereas I feel like
Absolutely.
in the summertime we're getting people coming from the south up,
Yep,
right?
that's absolutely right. A lot of people who call from the north and actually come here during the wintertime because they want to get away from the cold, the dreary, dark. So it's really nice to come here. I love to be able to tell them that on average we have really mild winters, 50 to 55 degrees. And so anyways, we still implement hygge here and coziness, but we do have people come to get away from those dreary winters for sure.
Yeah, I can think of one guest in specific that's actually here right now. And
Yep.
she's been on this podcast before, so we can name her. Margie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. She comes from up north, and that's one of the big things. She comes down here, and it's for the weather. Well, let's dive right into that. You know, could you explain, I guess, why or how long this has been around, this idea, the why, because you blew me away with that, why it's been around for so long?
Well, if you think about it, I don't know if you know anything about Vikings, but they had to survive very harsh, cold winters. I mean, it wasn't easy. And they really implemented, being together around a fireplace, spending time together, the fur pelts and blankets and lots of candlelight. I mean, warm, hearty meals. All of that was kind of the root of what we're talking about today. And I actually have a little bit more complex definition I can give you for hygge.
Yeah.
I'll just read it because I have it kind of written down here. It describes a deep feeling of comfort, yes, coziness, and contentment, created through simple pleasures and meaningful moments. Especially during winter months, hygge becomes a way of caring for both mental and emotional well-being by intentionally creating warmth, calm, and joy. Despite the cold and darkness, this allows folks to feel safe and secure and to pass that feeling on to others. So that's why it's so much more complex than just coziness. It just means so much more. People need to feel safe and secure during the winter so that they can just really bloom in the spring.
I love that. It reminds me of like when I think of the winter, I haven't been one to love winter until the last few winters. And we were in a meeting and our general manager, Teresa, said, it was when daylight savings ended. And so it was getting darker earlier. And she goes, my body loves this time of year when this is like where my body really like feels at home. And I almost looked at her like in anger, like, how dare you enjoy this time of year? This is the worst time of year. And when I had that like reaction, I was like, there's got to be something to it, And I started paying more attention to myself and like, what does my body really need during this time of year? There are seasons for a reason, and I feel like our bodies need to slow down and need to have time to like reset before the busyness of the springtime and summertime come around. And when I have since I've been paying more attention to like what does my body actually need during this time of year, I've actually really come to enjoy the winter and even getting out on walks, crisp cold air in my lungs. I even tell people like come down here and experience, go hiking with Alan, go be in nature when it's crisper outside. Like it awakens something inside of you. And so I've really been able to like enjoy winter a lot more the last couple of years. And I love that when you said, get your body ready for spring to blossom in the spring.
It's almost like our version of hibernation, right?
Yeah.
But why do we want to even listen to the dates? Let me give you a couple of statistics, okay?
Okay.
Denmark is often one of the happiest countries in the world. In 2025, it was second in the world, only after Finland.
Wow.
And Copenhagen, according to the BBC, was happiest city in the world.
Wow.
So, they're doing something right. And I am going to throw out a disclaimer there. They put a lot of funding into social programs. So, people are getting 4 to 6 weeks of vacation. They're getting a year off for maternity and paternity leave to share between the parents. Like, those things are in place. And obviously that's going to contribute to a more life satisfaction. But they are also doing these things. Everybody has to survive the winter. They're doing these things that are really helping them to have more peace and you know, to
Especially when their winters are much longer than ours are.
yeah, they're really
So,
thriving. So
yeah.
I think we can take something away from that.
Absolutely.
Kinsey, you said something interesting a minute ago. You haven't enjoyed them up until the past few years.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know what some of the feelings that you had before that were that made you not feel like you were enjoying it.
Mm-hmm. Well, as a child, I really loved winters. I grew up in Utah. We played out in the winter snow. We had a ton of snow. We never had snow days because we were used to snow. I loved winter then. And then I think as I became a mom and it's really hard to like get coats on, get gloves on, get boots on, get in the car, take coats off, take gloves off, put boots on, take
Yeah.
boots off. It's just, and then you get to the store, you have to put everything back on. Then you get back out of the store and you have to take everything off. It's just, it's a lot. It feels cumbersome as a mom. But not only that, like I had a few winters ago, I had a bout of a seasonal depression that about knocked me off my feet. I'm like, I don't even know what to do. I've never felt this before. And I think that was when I was like, and so then when Teresa said that, I was like, how can you like something that like, can bring me so much hardness, like, and feel a lot of really hard feelings. And so then, I started to pay a lot more attention, like, what does my body need? And really getting outside and being in nature, even when it is cold, it's important, getting that sunshine on my face, walking. I love the definition that you just gave because there's so much togetherness and bonding that it encourages. And when are we most depressed? Like we do feel like we need to seclude ourselves or, kind of hermit up. But what they're encouraging is like gather around your people, gather them in, cozy in, eat really yummy meals, turn on some candles, do something that invigorates your brain, and be together. And I'm like, what else can pull you out of that seasonal depression better than like those things?
Yeah. Seasonal depression being kind of the big theme for you then, that feeling.
Yeah, in adulthood, absolutely.
Yeah. Anything specific you can think of, Dianna?
I mean, I think the loneliness portion is really important, especially in this country. I mean, you've heard it probably in the news, people talking about a pandemic of loneliness. I think when people start to go down this hole of feeling sad, instead of turning to another person in real life, they're turning to their screens, They're going online and, that's a hole to, not a hole, sorry, a rabbit hole into something that's potentially even darker.
Yep.
So, okay, well, maybe we can help you out today too.
Sounds good.
Some ideas.
Yeah, I wanna target some actionable things, some steps that they can take, our listeners can take.
All right, well, I have 5 for you, which was actually painful to reduce it to 5. So I've got a few bonus ones at the end if we have time.
Lay them out. We got plenty of time.
All right, well, the first one is lighting. Danes, they light a lot of candles. They light so many candles. The average Danish person uses about 13 pounds of candle wax.
And
per
how
year.
long? Oh, per year. Wow.
Which is a lot, okay?
Yeah.
And the second runner-up is Austria, which uses about half of that amount.
Wow.
Okay, and these candles, like we were talking about earlier, they are not scented, okay? The oldest candle manufacturer in Denmark is called, let's see, I wrote the name down, is called Asp Hombad, and yes, it's probably not the way you really pronounce it. They actually don't produce any scented candles.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they're the biggest candle company in Denmark.
The oldest.
Oh, oldest. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that where these candles came from?
No, these are local beeswax candles.
Oh, cool. Yeah, they do look like beeswax candles. We have, I don't know if we're supposed to say this, we have candles in the podcast room.
Don't tell anybody, please.
We couldn't have a conversation about Hygge without some candles.
Yes.
No recipe for Hygge is complete without candles. Let's just be honest. It's a staple. You cannot walk through the streets of Copenhagen without looking through windows and seeing lit candles. Tapers usually in the windows. That's just how it is. I mean,
Yeah.
I want to go.
Is it
Can I go with you next time you
yes,
go?
of course.
Okay.
Is it like they have like 50 candles lit in their house in the afternoon, or is this something they're burning all day long?
No, yes, like sometimes people even burn them at work. Like you could be in a meeting at your job and there's candles burning. But I would always burn them when the sun goes down. That's my thing. Like when there's
Sure.
no more
Makes
daylight,
sense.
the candles are
Yeah.
being lit. And what's so funny is the word for spoilsport in Danish is lyseslukker. And I know I'm butchering that, but it literally means the one who puts out the candles.
Oh,
Yeah. So they're very
that is
passionate about that.
hilarious. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is hilarious.
Yeah. So candles, something very easy. Probably most people have some in the back of their junk drawer. I mean, just take your candles out. Just light them up. See how it makes you feel. And if you don't have any, they're so cheap. I mean, you can get candles just about anywhere for, a handful of dollars.
Do you think
So
you can order those authentic candles you were talking about online?
you can. I've already been to the website. I don't know if they ship internationally,
Oh.
but,
Yeah.
Can I tell a story about lighting?
yes.
Yeah.
So it's been about 6 years ago. It feels like not very long ago, but about 6 years ago, we bought this house that was not the most beautiful house. We would kind of say when we were, making improvements to this house that we were putting lipstick on a pig. It was that kind of house, right? And I had one of my really good friends came over, and she's just like, after we had moved in and we put up some twinkly lights, and they weren't candles, but we really just tried to make the ambiance feel cozy and feel like better, right? And she's like, have you heard of that word? And she's like, it's like Hygge or something like that. And I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Tell me more. And she's like, you just make spaces feel cozy, and you make and so that's the first time I was ever introduced to this Hygge word and the concept. And I kind of got more passionate about it after that, because I'm like, oh, I love that she thinks that I make even like a house that needed lipstick on a pig. It felt cozy to her. And so I just love that idea of like just really like creating an ambiance of like cozy comfort during the winter, and however you can. I mean, there are like, even if you don't do candles and you don't want to bring scented candles into your home, there's, diffusers, essential oil diffusers that have lights on them, so that they're still bringing light into your spaces, and cozy feeling too.
I love that. I can't wait to be invited over someday so I can see how cozy you make your home.
We live in a different home now, but I do still try to make it feel very cozy.
I'm sure it
you
is. Yeah.
Well, there is another option. So
Number 2.
lamps. Well, we're still on number
Oh,
one.
lighting.
Just briefly.
Still on lighting.
Lamps. Danes love lamps. I love lamps. I mean, fluorescent lighting, no offense, Alan, but this is about as unhyggelig as you can be with this fluorescent lighting.
Not my choice, but I can turn it off.
No,
we
no,
can
no.
just go candlelit in here.
It's fine. No, I'm just teasing you. But yeah, they're very choosy about the lamps that they buy, and then about where that they put them in their home to make the pools of light, very perfect and,
Interesting.
special. So, I mean, a lot of Danish lamp producers, very expensive, very high end. Some people will be living in small, tiny, sort of shack-like apartments, but they may have expensive lamps from these Danish designers, because that's how much it means to them.
Got it.
So, go to the thrift store. I found a lamp for $2 at a thrift store, and it is so cute. It just brings me joy whenever
And
I
then
turn it
get
on.
warm light bulbs, right?
That's right.
No
Warm
fluorescent
yellow.
LED. Yeah,
Yes.
warm yellow.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's number one.
Number 1.
Yeah.
What is number 2?
Number two is food and drink.
Okay.
Okay. Now let's start with food. The most Hygge style foods are going to take a while to make. Okay. We're talking some fresh baked bread, stews that need to simmer for hours on the stove. Okay. Jams, things like that. So we're not talking salad. That's not Hygge. No. Nothing fresh. It's going to be, just something that makes you feel cozy. So bakeries in Denmark, like, these rolls, the fresh baked pastries, whatever, it's so just comforting. And so that's the first example. Drinks are going to be warm drinks, obviously.
Mhm.
So Danes love their coffee
Mhm.
and tea, glögg, which actually
Oh, I've
I
been
brought
wondering.
I brought some. I didn't heat it up for you because it's actually a concentrate. But so for the listener, I'm holding Danish glögg in my hands. It's
It
something you
looks
can
like
buy.
a Coke bottle.
Yes, so it's like a water bottle, but it has a dark liquid inside. This is a concentrate. So you would either mix this with red wine or grape juice, something like that. And
Mhm.
you would bring it to heat over the stove in a pot. Usually you might add some cinnamon, maybe some fresh orange slices. And you're not going to boil it, but you're going to let it simmer very, very lightly.
Is it like a cider?
It's like a mulled cider.
Mm.
Yeah. They have something similar in Germany called Glühwein, and people are definitely drinking it around Christmas time, but even after that, it's, yeah. So a friend of mine sent that for me,
Oh.
and I wanted to make some for you guys, but I didn't have any grape juice. So sorry
I'm sure
for
it's
that.
very aromatic on the stove.
Well, that's what I was going to
Mhm.
say.
Can I see it for a second?
With both the meal or that, whatever you're simmering on the stove has that aromatic quality. So when people walk in, it feels cozy. It feels like we're going to have a meal together. It feels good, you know? So I think that
Yeah. And obviously, you know, this is a concentrate you can buy from your local Netto down the street, which is a corner store. If you want make it from scratch, that's even better. That's the ultimate.
yes.
I couldn't read the ingredients list on there, but
Yeah. Danish is a very difficult language, so that's why I'm butchering it. I took like 6 months of classes, and no one would speak to me in Danish. They were basically like, "No, let's just speak English." You know, they are not a country that really wants you to.
learn their language.
I mean, it's just there's 5 million people in the whole country, and they speak English like we do.
Wow.
I mean, with almost no accent. So.
Hmm. One thing we talk about often at Skyterra is that transformation doesn't end when your stay does, and it doesn't have to fade when life gets busy. That's why we created the Skyterra at Home app, a personalized wellness app designed to help you stay connected, supported, and consistent longer after you leave campus. Skyterra at Home brings our holistic approach to wellness right into your home. Inside the app, you'll find expert coaching, fitness, nutrition, mindfulness, lifestyle, habits, all designed to help you maintain momentum in a way that feels realistic and sustainable. You'll have access to tailored workouts created by the same team who supports our guests, nutritional guidance and recipes from our registered dietitian and culinary staff, and easy-to-use tools to help you set goals, track progress without pressure. And just as important as the content is the connection. Skyterra at Home allows you to engage with coaches and like-minded community, sharing wins, asking questions, and staying inspired every step of the way. Just to let you understand that a little bit, you have access to a Skyterra staff member anytime you would like through the app. It's pretty cool. Whether you're continuing your progress made at the retreat or deepening your wellness journey over time, Skyterra at Home ensures you're never doing it alone. If you're ready to bring Skyterra into your everyday life, you can find Skyterra at Home in the App Store or visit skyterrawellness.com/at-home.
Okay, I do have one other thing for you, which you
Okay.
can try. Danes love licorice,
Okay.
and I don't know how you guys feel about licorice.
Is it black licorice?
Well, here I have something that's very mild.
Okay.
This is, and again, I know I'm not saying it right, Lakritz by Bullo, and you find these shops all over, especially in Copenhagen. You find them all over. But if you want to try one, this is licorice candy.
I'm going to try one.
They love it so much. They put licorice in their baked goods. They put it. You cannot go to an ice cream shop without finding licorice ice cream.
Interesting. And it's the black licorice flavor. Like that, like.
Yeah. No, it's not going to be like a Twizzler or something like that.
No, that's what I was expecting was like a Twizzler, red, straw. This looks like Christmas ornaments to me.
Yeah.
It's
This is the most
chocolate
famous
covered
shop.
licorice.
This doesn't have any chocolate in it. It's just.
Chocolate coated licorice.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. It's
Okay,
not.
totally want to try one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went with something that was a little bit more mild. And there's actually these pipes for kids. I can't remember what they're called, but you can buy them everywhere. Kids love them. They're shaped like a smoking pipe.
You gonna
But-
have one too?
Yeah, have one
Might
with
as-
us.
Yeah, come on. Here's your lid back.
Hopefully no one has misophonia and they're not going to
This is gonna ASMR.
1, 2, 3.
What do you think?
The texture is very different. Unexpected.
It's delicious.
Yeah, the flavor
Right?
is really
Yeah.
good. I would have never. I don't really enjoy black licorice, but I was like, I'll do this for the experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But you can't really taste super strong black licorice.
right. I mean, they do have some that are super salty, like with sea salt, and it's like very strong.
That's what I'm getting from this. It definitely has salt in it.
Mm-hmm.
But not like overly
No,
strong.
Yeah.
the chocolate is awesome. It's delicious. It's like you get the licorice kind of after that. It's really good.
All right. So my advice for this number 2 to the listener is, if you have an afternoon free, try a new recipe. You don't have one? Guess what? We got a ton on our website,
Yeah, we
That's
do.
true.
right? Make yourself a warm drink. You know, you get bonus points if your tea needs 15 minutes to steep. That's the sweet spot. You know, make it take time. It needs to be a slow process.
Yeah. To help us slow down, right?
Yeah.
I'm a big crockpot fan this time of year. What I'm gathering from this particular category is that the aromatics are really important. The smell in your space is really important, and having that around for a long time.
Yeah. Also, the
Brings the
time
energy up.
invested. You
Yeah.
know, you're actually taking time to make something high quality, and maybe you're even doing it with someone.
That
then you're
reminds me,
getting
I
the
need to make some
togetherness.
homemade chicken noodle soup.
There you go.
Yes.
I'm gonna do
Great
it.
idea.
Okay.
Are you ready for number 3?
I am.
Okay.
I'm writing these down as we go.
All right. Number 3, togetherness. Obviously, we've got to cover that one. Around 78% of Danes socialize with friends, family, or colleagues at least once a week, far higher than in many countries. Social connection is one of the strongest predictors of happiness. You know, Danish people are always getting together, and they're not having huge dinner parties. You know, they're getting together with a few friends. They're meeting someone out for coffee. They're, meeting somebody for a glass of wine, or, whatever it is that they enjoy. But they're doing it often. And that's something that I think brings so much joy to people, just the human connection.
I think that's a good reminder for me that it doesn't have to be this big deal. Like, I think growing up, my mom was really good at hosting, and I am not the hostess with the mostest. And I don't know why that is.
It's
but
overwhelming.
It is.
you know?
It can be overwhelming, and I think that's a good reminder that it doesn't have to be a big deal. Like, have a friend over to chat. You don't have to have a meal with them, or you don't have to have something really crazy made for them. Especially, like, I'm like, that's not happening on a weeknight for sure. But it's just a good reminder, like, keep it simple.
Yeah, and it's not like you're not saying, oh, I have 20 minutes in my schedule, let's meet for a coffee. No, these are hours-long conversations over coffee or whatever. Now, there is a caveat. Not everyone is going to be included in these meetups,
Sure.
all right? We are going to avoid people that could potentially bring drama. If someone is a known person who brags, okay, they're not someone that you're gonna invite. That's just, again, it's about safety and security, right?
It's
So
like
you
a
want-
feeling. It's not like, let's just get together. But it's like, what's going to help you feel that safety and security? And if
Right.
that person's not going to do that for you, then they're not invited.
Exactly. So setting boundaries. Yeah, it's just friends meeting not to network or to catch up quickly, but just taking time, spending time together, laughing. Yeah, these small moments are just normal there. So the takeaway would be keep it simple. Invite a friend for coffee or a walk through the park. No elaborate dinner party needed. And just
Thank you for that permission.
take one evening a week and just spend time with loved ones. It could be your family, it could be friends, whoever, but people that really mean a lot to you.
I love that.
That's number 3.
Number 3.
You ready for number 4?
Let's hear it.
Mhm.
Okay. Clothing.
Okay.
I love this one. Okay. Casual, comfy, sleek, minimalist, elegant but not high strung. Think scarves, bulky sweaters, lots of layers. I have to tell you about this time that I went to my first yoga class in Denmark.
Okay.
I signed up for this yoga studio. I wasn't really sure what to expect. So I spent some time thinking about my outfit. Okay.
Mhm.
Maybe 10 minutes or so. I'm like, all right, what am I going to wear? So I get my best looking leggings on, and I show up to class. It was so shocking, actually. Like, half the people look like they rolled right out of bed, messy hair. They're in sweats. Some people actually in their pajamas, It's, maybe a few people had yoga leggings on, but then they had like a ratty t-shirt. It's just, it's about what brings you comfort and they're not performing for anyone. It's just what makes them feel good.
I love that.
Yeah. So in Denmark, people just feel comfortable being themselves at work, at home, with friends, and they don't have any pressure to impress people. So I feel like we could take something away from that.
For sure.
Mhm.
So the takeaway here is give yourself permission to wear what feels good, what feels cozy and safe. It doesn't have to be minimalist if that's not you, but feel good in what you put on your body.
Did anybody say anything to you at your yoga class? Like, wow,
You look so
Really-
good.
really
No,
dressed
You're
up
so
today.
dressed up.
I'm never going to be a Lululemon model. Like, that's not my vibe. But, I tried a little harder, maybe, and I didn't try as much the next time, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
You're like, I do not even have to care about what I'm wearing to my next yoga class.
Yeah, I mean, how many times have you been to a yoga class or some type of fitness class and people are head to toe, girls have their hair done, makeup on, it's like a performance or something, like they're on stage.
Yeah.
And I just feel like they're missing the whole point.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
Just
That's a
show
good
up
one.
as you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so the last one is home decor.
Okay.
Okay. Danish design is famous for minimalist flair, clean lines. Nature, also a big component. So lots of wood.
Okay.
They actually have some famous like wooden figurines. Wood floors are pretty common there.
Not carpet, really.
I mean, they have rugs, but they tend to have wood floors. A cozy nook. That would be a big thing that a lot of people have. Somewhere that you can just cuddle up. You can read a book. You can sip a warm drink. You can engage in a hobby like knitting.
I was going to ask you about that because one of the things that I saw was like this one says the winter craft table, knitting, whittling, sewing, mending, the simple crafts that soothe anxiety, creates beauty, and keeps multiple generations in one room.
Whittling.
I know. I'm like, when was the last time you whittled, Ellen?
I'm going to whittle on this table right now. It's been too long.
Right?
Yeah,
And
it's
then-
something you can sit quietly doing.
Yeah, and I love that it said screens don't bond families, shared handiwork does. And so I didn't know if like where you were specifically, was that like a big thing of like having a craft table or have, like you said, there was a nook for somebody to go and do those cozy, quiet, kind of singular things, but having more people in a room and together, not having them like all separated and on their screens.
Okay, so here's where I have to kind of throw in a caveat.
Okay.
I was not included in a lot of traditional Danish activities.
Okay.
Danes don't typically leave Denmark. So they're growing up with the same people. They're friends with the same people. We lived in a neighborhood, and the Danes we got closest to had come from another part of Denmark
Okay.
and had transplanted there, and they didn't have their bubble anymore. So then they would gravitate to us.
I see.
But we lived in a really cute area of Copenhagen with like row houses. And one thing that we were included in was this thing called Hygge. So of course it's Yule is Christmas, and naturally they've got Hygge in the word.
Yeah.
And for the days leading up to Christmas, weekdays, each neighbor would take an evening and they would host. So you wouldn't come inside their home, but we all had little gardens in the front. So they would invite everyone over. Everybody would sign up for a night, and they would have their glögg. You know, everybody had their own recipe and some baked sweets. So that's kind of the biggest thing that we got to enjoy, we got a glimpse into. And of course, we hosted. We did not have glögg. I don't remember what we had. Something very American.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like we were invited to a couple of friends' homes, but really, it's like they're so tight knit, and they're not bringing a lot of extra people in. So
That's an interesting concept too.
a lot of what I know, I've just learned from, you know, there was a big expat community, so we were kind of absorbing it, but not from within.
I see.
And a lot of Danes we know because they're married to expats.
I see.
They were more open to sort of inviting us in and
Sure.
that kind of thing. But so I do have to throw that in there. Like
Yeah.
Danes are the friendliest people on earth, but they, you know, to actually get into their inner circle is
Their traditions. Yeah.
they're
I can
just,
understand that.
Yeah, they're tight knit. So
Well, and I think to myself, like, if they are doing all of these Hygge traditions and they're doing them in multi-generational capacities, like, I can see why they're so close to one another, because they are connecting with each other and they want to connect with each other. They want to spend time with each other. And so it doesn't, I mean, when you're putting so much time into your own family and your meals and, you know, all of these things that we've been talking about, there's not a lot of time for the outside to bring a lot of outside in.
Also, you bring someone in new. Are they going to fit in? Are they going to like be part of the Hygge environment?
Yeah, you said earlier, no drama.
That's right. Yep. No drama, mama.
So the corner, the nook.
Yes. So blankets, you know, maybe a comfy chair, somewhere where you can engage in your hobby. A table, that's a great idea, somewhere you can do it with your family. But basically somewhere where you can feel cozy. Also, fireplace. That's very Hygge.
Yeah.
Candles, obviously. Lots of nature. So think back to the Viking conversation earlier, sheepskin. Anything that's just super, you know, furry or thick. Dried twigs, books. They love their books. Blankets, cushions, just all of these textures that are going to be comfy and soothing. Yeah. So Hygge thrives when people feel safe and secure. It's important to create an atmosphere that brings you peace. And that's what you got to do at home.
Yeah, we should all have that space. I'm thinking of my fly tying space.
Yeah, so the takeaway for the listener would be create a cozy corner in your home where you can read, listen to music, or just relax. Add some elements of nature, some wooden candlesticks perhaps, a warm, cuddly blanket. Don't just create the comfort, create the time to enjoy it. That's the part I think is so important. You know, it doesn't matter how nice we make our space if we're not willing to just, you know, schedule that time to actually enjoy it.
Yeah.
Then what's the whole point?
Sure.
So I have a few bonus things.
Fire them.
Can I throw them away?
Yeah, I want to hear them.
All right. Hobbies. Okay, like building Lego. By the way, Lego is the plural for Lego. Did you guys know that?
No, I
No.
didn't.
Yeah. Okay. And
Moose.
Lego comes from Denmark.
Oh, okay.
Did you guys know that?
So
No.
you're building Lego, not building Legos.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
And of course, they love their Lego.
Yes.
You know? My son was so happy there. I mean, it was, his happy place. Knitting. I want to shout out a guest really quick.
Yeah.
Susan Hagler. I know she's been on the podcast, right? Or has she yet?
Susan.
I know you interviewed her. I don't know if it's been released yet. But anyway, she spent an entire afternoon teaching me the basics of knitting. Did you guys know this?
No.
Yes.
I love
And
that.
So my goals for this winter were to get my fireplace fixed because it wasn't working. It's a gas fireplace.
Okay.
So Bob helped me with that. I went to Lowe's. I got the part I needed. I fixed my fireplace. And then Susan taught me the basics of knitting. So now
You have it set.
I can sit by my fireplace and knit,
I love that.
you know? So
You have your number 5, your cozy corner.
that's
Yes.
right. Crochet. You know, my mom spent my entire childhood crocheting every winter. You know, she's crocheting all evening long. And I kind of took it for granted, but now I realize how cozy that really is.
My
you know?
daughter crochets
Oh, she
amazing
does?
things. She taught herself. I could not take a single ounce of whatever it's called. I can't
Credit.
Yes, but my daughter,
That is so cool.
yeah, she
Good for
like
her.
handmade her friends Christmas gifts this year.
That's cool.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. She's awesome.
Yeah, she's my hero.
All right. Cold bathing in
Mhm.
winter. That's a
plunges,
huge. Okay, but it's not just plunging.
Okay, tell us more
They're
what
spending
bathing
time
is.
there.
How
So,
long?
remember how I said no matter where you are in Zealand, you can be at the sea in an hour?
Yes.
Like people are meeting up there, sometimes they're walking in slowly to the sea and then they're just there for minutes, Probably not for hours, let's be honest, but they're working up to it. Do you guys know Wim Hof? You've heard
Yes.
of Wim
Yeah.
Hof? Yeah, so he's Norwegian actually, but
Okay.
the same concept in Denmark.
Mhm.
Like in contrast to that, they also have the sauna. So sometimes they're doing, they're going into the sea, they're spending time there, then they're getting in the sauna, which is sometimes right on the water.
Interesting.
So they can do both.
Mm-hmm.
The hot cold therapy.
Exactly. Very popular to do with your friends. And what a dopamine boost that is.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I was a big chicken. Like I would always have to sort of cannonball my way into the water.
Yeah,
And then
I'm not
sometimes I would
walking into
stay.
that.
I would stay in a little bit, but I was a baby. Yeah. So that's it for my bonus things. I do have an example of hygge in my home,
Let's hear it.
if I could share that.
Yeah, please.
Okay. So I'm telling you about a cold winter evening at my house.
Okay.
All right. So it's cold. It's winter. Let me start over.
Thank you. I'm like just trying to find that post, and all of a sudden it pops up. Okay, go ahead.
All right. It's a cold winter evening. Ideally, it's snowing, but let's be honest, we don't live in the right place for that.
Mhm.
Not too often, at least.
Yeah, right.
As soon as the sun goes down, I light a fire in my fireplace. I light my 6 candles on the hearth, the ones on the dining room table, and in the kitchen. If I'm having friends over, candles are going on in the bathrooms too. Okay?
Oh, cool.
Okay.
My family is cuddled up on the couch or on the thick, soft rug. Faux fur blankets are available for extra warmth. My family is drinking herbal tea and playing Risk or Uno by the firelight. We tease one another and enjoy the ambiance and company. We leave the screens off all evening and enjoy time being present together. In the kitchen, my vegetable beef soup is bubbling on the stove, still needing another hour on the stove before it's ready. And that's my hygge evening.
I want to move in.
What about you? Do you have an example of like a hygge time or something?
Yeah. We this week have had a really unique experience because my son lost technology for reasons we don't need to discuss on the podcast.
Okay.
And it's been so interesting. Like we've been going out on, and we've also made some goals for health and wellness as a family this year. So we've been going out on cold walks, which I didn't know if there was in the post that I was looking at, that was one of their kind of things that they would get together and go out and walk in the cold and then come home into their warm, cozy spaces. And so we'll go out on walks together. We will light candles, or we turn on our diffusers with cozy lights. We dim the lights at night because we also know that helps us prepare for sleep, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've been playing games. We've been reading together. I mean, I said to him last night, I'm considering taking away your technology forever because this is actually like my ideal life, like living this life with you guys in this way. It's just so much more intentional. It's filling me with joy. I feel like my kids are finding more joy, and because it's simple and it's fulfilling, it's peaceful. And I'm like, let's get rid of technology forever.
You think it's going to be so heartbreaking to take those things away, and then you see the positive sides of it.
Yes. And
That's
so,
awesome.
but I love that feeling of just like cozy in with my family, spend quality time with them, and it just makes my heart happy. So
I love it.
yeah.
Ellen, I have a few quotes from the Danes. Do you want to hear from the Danes?
Yes.
Okay.
How did you acquire these?
Okay, so my husband helped me out. He has a Danish company actually that he's co-founded with two other gentlemen, both Danes, and then him. And one of these quotes is from a colleague.
And the other 3 are from friends.
Okay. One is very long and one is very short. So
Okay,
here we go.
perfect.
I'll start with the long one. All right. This is from Nina Jensen. Hygge is a way to forget about everything else and focus on what is right there in front of you. It is comfy clothes, that t-shirt that is not pretty anymore, but just fits you. It is dimmed lights, maybe even a candle or two or a fire in the stove. It is your favorite spot on the sofa and a blanket over your feet. Snacks. Cookies, popcorn, or chocolates. And no, it doesn't go on your waist until tomorrow. It is a good movie, a fun TV show, or a good board game. And maybe some nice music in the background. Or, if you are alone, a nice book. It is forgetting your deadline and ignoring dishes and dust bunnies just for a few hours. And being close to yourself and those most dear to you. It is being part of a group with whom you share history and odd jokes. People who love you even when you don't wear makeup and have had a rough day out in the world. It is a sense of belonging.
Mm.
I think that's so beautiful.
That was good.
Mhm. Putting a record on and just
Yeah,
That was the short one, right?
that was the long one. All right, here's the short one. This is Klaus Benson. I think Hygge for me is creating a worry-free atmosphere centered around an activity. And a little side note about Klaus, according to my husband, Anthony, is that he really, when he says activity, he loves playing games. So they have all of these games that they love to play, and they just get together. And sometimes it's not even a board game. It's like something that's just kind of made up or, whatever.
Interesting.
But basically just, spending time together.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, and this quote is from Paul Hansen. For me, winter hygge is ski trips, watching Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, and The Hobbit with my girlfriend, and taking long walks with her or solo runs in the snowy, sunlit landscapes. Year-round hygge is Friday beers at the office with friends. And then we have the final one is from Michael Oland. He says, it's weird, but it is always very hard to describe what hygge means, even though it's the most natural thing for us Danes, but let me give it a try. To me, hygge is about slowing down, being present, and embracing simple, comfortable moments. For example, good food, calm lighting, time with friends and family, and without any expectations for it to be perfect, especially in winter when it's dark and rainy outside. It's about leaning into that, doing less, and feeling good about spending time that way. Caro is the architect behind creating hygge here at home, with more candles and small Christmas lights around the apartment for all the dark months.
I love that.
That's what I have.
I think my takeaway from this is they've definitely figured out very intentional ways to use all of their senses in a different way during those hard times, those cold winters, those dreary days.
Mm-hmm.
They're smelling things, they're seeing things, they're changing the way the light enters their eyes, they're feeling the cold water, they're feeling the hot sauna.
Yep.
They're
The
touching
touch.
the warm blankets and the thick sheep skin, you said, or
Yeah.
sheep. I can imagine furs, and it's just really, it does just make you feel cozy just thinking about using your senses in that way.
And being present with all of it, like
Yes.
being in the moment.
Well, and I think that this has been such a good discussion for me because there's a lot of really good ideas, and then it's our opportunity to choose a couple to try and be intentional in trying those things to try and bring more joy into our winters in this time for us to slow down and prepare ourselves for the blossoming of the spring. It's going to be here before we know it.
Oh, sure.
But we, in order to make this time feel better, be more intentional, just choose a couple of things to try and bring more joy into our winter.
Yeah, rather than just suffer through it. Let's, like
Yeah.
you said, be intentional about actually enjoying it and getting something out of it.
Yeah, we've got, essentially 2 months before we really start seeing a shift in things, and that can be a long time. But small piece of encouragement, I did actually see sprouting daffodils yesterday.
Oh,
I
wow.
did too. It's crazy, but that's here. So for our listeners who
Sure.
are up north,
Oh, let's not make
give them
feel
lots
bad.
of love, and
That's
it'll be
fair.
a couple of months.
That's fair.
And yeah,
And
find
Skyterra
some
is
joy.
waiting for you if you need a
It's true.
break.
It is so
That's
true.
very true. I can show you some sprouting daffodils.
Yes.
That was crazy. I was like, what? We drove past it. I was like, that was green. What? Wait. It
I
kind of
know.
like clicked.
It's crazy.
Yep.
That's
Thank
exciting.
you, Dianna, so much for being so intentional about this topic, taking all the time you did to get quotes and come up with lists and takeaways and these actions for folks. I can see this being super helpful and for anybody, but also how much you care about it.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. And
Thanks for letting me come
inviting
and tag along. This was
Oh
a
my
fun
gosh.
discussion for sure.
Yeah.
Nobody I'd rather have it with.
Oh, thanks, Diana.
Nice. Well, come up with something else. We'll get you back on here and talk some more.
For sure.
All right, listeners, if you have any questions for Dianna, just shoot us an email at inspiredintentions@skyterrawellness.com. I can get any of those questions over to you,
Yeah.
and we can get that stuff answered. I'm sure there's a ton of stuff online, but I think if you just take one of these many beautiful things that she talked about today and put it into action, I think you can find some joy in that. And we will catch you all next time. Bye.
Bye.
The Inspired Intentions podcast is a production of Skyterra Wellness Retreat. Special thanks to our executive producer, Alan Broyhill. Send us your questions and comments to inspiredintentions@skyterrawellness.com. Subscribe on iTunes and everywhere podcasts can be found. If someone you know might benefit from this podcast, share Inspired Intentions with them and give us a 5-star rating. Join us next week as we cut through the unrealistic noise on diets and fitness and show you how healthy living fits seamlessly into your already busy life. Thanks for listening.